I was sent to prison for money laundering offense, money laundering in connection with drug trafficking.
She's been called the ex-con next door.
I'm not a sociologist, I'm not a criminologist.
But what Piper Kerman is the author of the new best-selling prison memoir, Orange is the New Black. The book details the year she spent in a minimum security prison in Danbury, Connecticut, for a felony she committed nearly a decade before her actual conviction.
I was indicted under a conspiracy indictment along with about 13, 14 other people. And the way that works generally is that somebody gets arrested and then it's kind of like a house of cards, you know? And so somebody pointed the finger at me. But, you know, I was guilty of the offense, which is why I pled guilty.
Aside from being just a cautionary tale, Kerman hopes to raise awareness about the life behind bars for female inmates.
I think the much more interesting part of the story is what takes place in prison rather than the offense. I wanted to offer a more complete and a more complex idea and a more realistic understanding of who's in prison, the reasons that they're there, and what really happens to them there.
While Kerman dealt with her unexpected new life inside prison, her then-fiancé and now husband, Larry Smith, coped with being without her on the outside.
There's an expression that really comes from the prisoners, not so much the partners of the prisoners, but you know, they do the time with us.
At first, Smith's imagination led him to believe the worst about prison.
You're worried all the time. Is there violence? Is she eating right? Is she miserable? Is she being picked on? You just don't know.
Although prison life was at times shocking for the Smith graduate and former creative consultant, she found a way to make the best out of a bad situation.
Particularly in a setting like Danbury, a minimum security prison camp, people are trying to survive a bad experience, and I found that people were very inclined to help each other.
Kerman served 14 months. She now sits on the board of the Women's Prison Association and has turned the darkest chapters of her life into a new literary career.